Good evening, everyone. Next Generation Weather Forecaster Joe Shockey here from StormChaserJS.com, doing a tropical update to see where we're going over the next few weeks as we go into the month of October here. And I see some interesting things that I wanted to discuss as I was going through my evening products. I wanted to bring this up and see if these ideas have merit down the road. So what we're taking a look here at is the MJO forecast from the European weeklies, the Madden-Julian Oscillation. This is from yesterday, the 27th, and you can see, or today, the 27th, for the 27th, but initialized last night. But you can see where we are here in Phase 1 of the MJO. We're going to possibly get into Phase 2, but pretty much spend the majority of the next few weeks in the Phase 1, then maybe possibly heading down into the null phase towards the middle and end of October, which does favor tropical development in our part of the world, the null phase of the MJO, where that circle is there, where the MJO is really not present in any part of the globe, but what localized features systems can develop. So there's what the MJO looks like over the next 4 weeks for the months as we wrap up September, go right to the end of October. So again, there's that Phase 1. Now, look at Phase 1 of the MJO, where you see tropical development favoring. You see it in the Gulf and the Caribbean. And then Phases 2 and 3 continued here in the Gulf and down to the Caribbean. So there's where we are with the MJO phases. So it supports tropical development there. Now, the Japanese, which came out yesterday, this is the first week beginning tomorrow. This is upward motion. And I'll also point out here where Karen and Jose are, there is no upward motion. There possibly, you can make the argument that there's some sinking motion locally where Jerry and Karen were, along with that dry air and wind shear. That is why both of those systems fell apart. And you can see here over in the eastern Atlantic where we have some pretty strong upward motion. And that shows up quite nicely there in the precipitation anomalies there, where you have major Hurricane Lorenzo, a Category 4 hurricane, on its way up into the North Atlantic over the next few days or so. But I think that's what helped nuke Jerry and Karen, the lack of upward motion showing up there. So there's the first week of upward motion on the JMA, and there's the Caribbean as well with upward motion. Week 2 from the Japanese looks like this. Again, here's the Caribbean. I'll try to zoom in a little bit better here on this illustration, but you can see where my cursor is, where it says CHI 200 days 10 to 16 here on the top left. Again, you have upward motion focused in the Caribbean. We're going to shut down the MDR relative to normal. There's the Caribbean showing up with precipitation anomalies below the CHI. So there's week 2. Now as we step along in the week 3 and week 4, you will continue to see that there's upward motion in the Caribbean, and that shows up quite nicely there. And then above average precipitation anomalies showing up in the Caribbean there as well. And this will take us out to the end of October, just like the European weeklies did. Now looking at the GFS ensemble, this is Thursday the 10th. This is the pressure anomalies, and this is the 18Z run. The 12Z run looks pretty similar, so there's somewhat consistency in through here. There's the 12Z run with that low pressure, and we'll bring that out, and you can see broad area of low pressure somewhere down there off the Yucatan in between Cuba. So somewhere in that alleyway, there's low pressure. So there's the 12Z run. The 18Z run looks like this. So you can see, I mean, this is impressive. I mean, come on. It's 1,001 millibar low sitting down there. I think that this may be a case where the GFS possibly is going to beat the European with sniffing this idea out once we get past about the 8th of October, that something like this could be forming anywhere down here in the Caribbean, as again you saw from the MJO and the JMA. So there's what it looks like on the GFS ensemble. Very, very impressive this far out. European, not as much, but again you can see there is a low area down and through this, so it's trying to see it, but not to the extent as the GFS sees it. So there's what that looks like. Here are the ensembles, low locations from the GFS. You can see pretty solid clustering, some pretty strong members down in here on the 13th, the Columbus Day weekend, if you will, down here in the Central Caribbean, and possibly coming north at this time, giving the 500 millibar pattern that's sitting up across North America. So you can see what the GFS ensemble looks like there, and then the European out day 15, you can see a couple members here and there trying to hint at something getting going down the road. So there's day 10, there's day 8, day 10, and then by day 15, you can see maybe something propagating northward into the Gulf or developing here north of Cuba, and then maybe, who knows, somewhere along the East Coast down the road. There is Lorenzo heading out, and maybe something else comes across Africa, but this is going to be beginning to shut down now as, again, you're getting out of the MJO phase for the Eastern Atlantic, in my opinion, and again, that upward motion is not as strong on the JMA. However, it is strong on the European, though, but once we get into October, the MDR, we don't really see too much activity relative to average coming out of there, but I can't rule out one, if not two more storms coming across or trying to come across over the next few weeks. But overall, the main area of shifting, and my attention will shift, is in this area around here, west of 70 West into the Caribbean over the next few weeks. That's it for now, and thank you for watching.